Felting with pre-felt sheets to create a poncho? No problem. We're getting ready to go on a journey here and make a poncho. I have this pre-felt that I can use, have similar colors but yet different in this one. And then I have this third one and things. So I think I'm just going to go, I'm going to put this on black silk because I don't have any silk dyed right now. And I use a different approach with the black silk than I do the dyed silk. But for this one, I think I'm going to go with this little brighter I may lose some of that brightness when I do the felting just because the fibers come through the marginal silk, but we'll see. And I'll put these other two away for now and maybe get some silk dyed in these colors. I think I maybe have a piece of silk hiding somewhere and that will support these colors, but we'll leave that for a different day. So we're going to get started here on our journey and we'll see what comes next. So for this poncho, I'm going to cut out 4 stripes here. Strips are going to be 4.5 inches wide, each one of them. I'm going to go around the border and do the entire border of the silk that we have. And then I've measured out here a 25 by 25 inch square that'll be the middle, and we'll add some mohair and yarns and things to it. And we'll have a little bit of leftover. I can maybe cut out some triangles to put into the 4 corners. That's the approach we're taking on this one. A little bit different than we've done on others, but it's a life of learning. So we're going to cut our strips here. So these strips will go all the way around. The outside of the poncho, kind of a border. We have our 4 strips cut. We'll cut our middle piece now. So our next step here is to take these pieces and put them on the silk that will get laid out. Okay, we're putting our silk out here. Just kind of stretching it around, trying to straighten it out. The silk is 45 inches wide, 45 inches long. It's kind of what we use as the foundation here. And it's kind of, it works well. I do use 55-inch wide silk as well in some of my projects. So we'll just try and get that. And I know I want to be about 10 inches in from the side. We'll make it maybe 10.5, where I'm going to put this middle piece. And then I know as well I need to be about the same on this side. So it needs to go in just a little bit. Here we got about the same. Put that in. Try to pull the silk out. Go trying to get fancy, so I'll wet these sides down a little bit. Silk won't move as much. we go. We're pretty close on everything for the middle. Use our strips now. One strip here. Try and line up the edges the best we can. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. We'll do the fourth side here. That's kind of how we lay it out in the simplistic form here. Got the edges. We're going to grab some mohair, we'll grab some yarn, and we'll do some embellishments. I think first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some yarn in here and around. So I'm going to just lay it in. It's a kind of it's an already dyed yarn. Set that in there. Don't move things out a little bit. So hopefully my tracker is tracking. You can see me. At least see my hands. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of laying it in here. Do similar thing here around a little bit here, different pieces along the base. Thanks for being patient with me as I kind of try out some new videoing equipment. I have this automatic AI type tracker. It's supposed to stay on me. And so I can move around. Need to do a better job on the audio. I have a microphone ordered that's hopefully will help out with that. And so we're going to set the yarn aside here. I've got some natural red colored mohair. I'm going to open that up. I put it more just in the middle. Most of the time I'm using white mohair and then dyeing it, but this natural red mohair that we got from Naman Angoras is a beautiful color and works well kind of in these southwestern colors and things. It makes a beautiful yarn if you hand spin it. You can see there's really no rhyme or reason, just kind of laying it out in different places. Got some green mohair now that I'm going to put out. Sometimes due to the density of this mohair, it doesn't get all the same color green all the way through, but that's okay. Kind of works well with that. So I do think I'm going to cut some pieces and put here in the corners, and here and all four corners. I do that offline. Put some of this green in here in the middle as well. Looks like it's tracking me. Then I have some similar bronze or orange color to the silk. So open some of this up and throw it in. Kind of a monotonous job of laying this out, but you can see we just kind of go through and put some here, put some there. Using my earbuds as a speaker or a microphone, it's like can't be listening to music and podcasts, which I usually do. But that's all right. Hopefully you're getting the idea that just kind of spread things around, and we'll let them go. We're going to put some in the middle. Sometimes we'll add viscose too. Don't normally do that when I've put the marshall silk on a pre-felt. Yeah, I get plenty of shine from the marshall silk and things, so just kind of add a little bit of texture with the yarn and the mohair. Okay, I think that's going to be plenty for now. We're going to work on the corners and we'll come back. With nuno felting, where basics really are that we have fabric at the base. So we have our silk here, we have our alpaca fiber, we have some more marginal silk, we have some goat hair, and we have some yarns. And now we're going to add some soapy water to it. Just hold everything down. And the soap and the water will change the way that the fibers react. pH balances are changing, their fiber scales are opening up, and all the important things necessary to facilitate wet felting is get those scales to open up and use the agitation to migrate everything. So a lot of people use different things. I use this little syringe like thing. It's got the ball on the end. It can, you know, pull the water in. Thought my trucker was all charged up, but I guess I don't get paid to think. We'll make sure there's enough water going through up to the pocket fiber when I get it to engage with the silk. Black silk as well, and engage with the mohair or the yarn. So that'll happen with the agitation once we start that. This water is a little warmer than room temperature, but not really hot. So you can use room temperature water, you can use cold water, you can use hot water, but you know, a lot of people prefer kind of room temperature or a little warm, not real hot, because it opens the fibers quickly and you get felting curves faster than you maybe want it to, because those scales are so open. Okay, now we're going to cover it up with our mosquito netting, and we'll get ready to agitate it. So my mosquito netting is about 8 foot long and 5 feet wide maybe. But so I just kind of lay it out, and then I can finish spreading it. Not even in any way, but it's there. So now I'm just going to kind of I'm going to go around and press this down with my hands. Just kind of make sure all the fiber is wet. Let's use this side so you can. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little hand sander here that I got from Dharma Trading Company. Just to kind of a rough edge on this side, and I'm just going to gently rub this through the mosquito netting. You can put a pair of rubber gloves on and do the same. You can rub with your fingers, whatever you feel comfortable with. Just give it a gentle rub. Try and get the fibers started to kind of work around and work their way through the silk, work their way up to the mohair and the yarn. So that's what we're going to do for a while. We'll move on here in a little bit with the next steps as we get there. I'm upgrading here to a new hand sander. It's a little bigger. It's a little rougher. It's going to be more aggressive in the process, but we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to rub over the fibers, the yarns, everything will kind of, where we have seams, we're trying to push those together as we're sanding them. I don't have to lean over all that way. I can pull this pool cover to me along the table. So get to all the edges and everything. So I'm going to do this for another 10-20 minutes anyway, and get the fibers to felt together a little better, and then we'll take the mosquito netting off and we'll go to the rolling process. What we're going to do now is we're going to roll this up around this pool noodle that we have. So we're going to just kind of roll it up. To a bundle. I'm going to put this into this towel. Now, if you want, you can tie that bundle up in strings or pantyhose, knee-high hose. I choose not to, I guess, but you can. It'll help maybe keep things from moving. But the intention of this process is really just to continue to work the fibers together and try and get them to intertwine with each other, both on the bottom and on the top, so that everything is adhered to each other, and so there's no glue, no sewing and things. So we're going to do this. We're going to go through this process. This is kind of the way I do it, and then use my forearms. I'm going to go back and forth here about 30 or 40 times. And I'm going to move over here and do 30 or 40 times, and I'm going to move over here and do 30 or 40 times. And then we're going to repeat the same process. So we'll do 300 to 400 times on this side, and then we're going to unroll it from the other end of the table. We'll roll it up the opposite direction, and we'll continue to do the same thing. Again, another monotonous job and task of the felting process, but necessary. So I'll do this rolling, and I'll come back and get you here when I'm done with all of the rolling, and we'll kind of go on to the next step. We finished our rolling and everything. We're going to do some fulling now. So we're just going to roll this up, and we're going to kind of bounce it on the table. We're going to massage it with our hands. And one of the things we're going to do here as well is we're going to lay it back out. I got the inside or the underside up, and we're going to go along the edges and kind of rub the edges, make sure that their fibers are adhering to each other along the edge or straight as possible. Let's get her some straight edges. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. We'll put add some more here following this a little bit, but just to kind of show it when it's dry and when it's complete and everything and what it looks like. Next thing we're gonna do is we'll put it in some water and rinse out all the soap, and then we'll let it dry. We'll find a place to put the neck hole in so it has a way of getting on and off. Our wonderful customer can make it a wearable. We We tend to do that after this is dry and after it's done, because the way the felt changes, the fibers change and everything. If I had pre-cut this, you know, I might have cut it in the center, but it may be over here on the side by now. So I'll cut it, and then I'll seal the edges, felt the edges and seal them, you know, after I cut it. So if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe, follow us. We'll be putting out more material in 2026. And we'll have a few shorts, I'm sure. We'll have some more longer material and everything as well. But appreciate your valuable time watching this. Have a great day. Here we have it in the first rinse water. So let's spread it out a little bit here and shake it around in the water. Try and get 70–80% of the soap out of it anyway. And we'll rinse that, squeeze it a little bit. We're going to put a little bit more water in this sink, and we'll transfer it to there and let it sit for a while. And when we do, then we'll drain this sink and we'll put some vinegar water in it and let it sit for a while. Well, we've laid it out flat here to dry on the skirting table, so we'll check on it tomorrow or the next day. Here's what our poncho looks like here, finished on the dress mannequin. So you can see our yarns, you can see our mohair, you can see where the seams, where the pre-felts come together. More yarns, the mohairs. You see the shine of the marginal silk coming through.